Good afternoon. I know we are short on time, so I'll begin. First, I would like to actually commend all of the human rights heroes who are here with us, and those, of course, who couldn't be here. And on behalf of Liberal International, which is one of the co-hosts of this event, of course, I would like to reiterate our commitment to continue to fight for their causes. And of course, we will continue to support this very important event, and we are very privileged to be here with you. I would like to now introduce our next speaker, who is very lucky to be here with us. Kasha Jacqueline Nabagesera, one of the most prominent Ugandan LGBTI rights activists, someone who's been openly LGBTI her whole life in a country where homosexuality is criminalized. She started campaigning for this issue at the very tender age of 19, and she was nearly kicked out of university, which of course then spurred her to think about how she can actively involve into helping the LGBTI community. In 2010, the Ugandan newspaper Rolling Stone actually published a picture of Kasha and urging basically on the local community to hang her and other individuals they have portrayed for supposedly being gay, of course, again, shedding light on the criminality of this issue. She was lucky to survive. Her friend David Kato was not so lucky. But she successfully sued the newspaper, and that set an incredible precedent in the country, a judicial precedent in the country, which didn't exist before. She's a recipient of many prestigious international human rights awards, the Nuremberg International Human Rights Award, and the Martin and Aus Human Rights Award. I think I'll stop here because her story is a lot more compelling than mine, and I would just like to ask her to take the stage.
Good afternoon. It feels good to be back here because I know you're also busy people, but by the mere fact that you've taken some time to sit here and listen to many human rights defenders and freedom fighters shows that we are not alone in this fight. It shows that this world, people care. So it's really an honor to be given this platform. Coming or growing up in a country like Uganda, one of the most beautiful places actually I know in this world, not because it's my country, but it's actually beautiful, was both fun and difficult as an open lesbian person. Fun in a way that it was easy for me to get hookups since I was open. And so it wasn't so much try for me to get girls. But it also became difficult and caused me lots of problems because my openness was not really taken so well by many people, many very conservative people, many religious people. And some people thought I was actually promoting homosexuality by openly being myself. But I didn't really know why my sexuality was really an issue until the age of 19, having been openly gay since the age of 8. So I decided to really invest my energy in finding out why is my sexuality really a big deal. Here I am a university student, but I don't even know that it's illegal to be gay in my country. After research, I found out it was not only illegal to be gay in Uganda, but Africa and around the world. It was a shocker. It angered me. After my university degree, I decided to change from being an accountant to invest in human rights, to read and really understand the law. Why is it a big deal for people to hate on same-sex relationships? It wasn't easy. Having been expelled from so many schools for simply even sometimes just writing love letters, to university, where my mother actually was called at by the principal at university, and she came and said, Kasha, I'm going to say something. I know you're not going to like it, but I need to save your education. And so I was called back in. And this is my mother I'm looking at and my father. And then she tells the principal and the whole staff that I'm sick and my illness has no cure. Those were very hurtful things to hear my mom say. But I didn't really understand why she had to say that until we went back to the car and she said, this time they were really going to expel you and this is your final year. I had to give them what they wanted to hear to save you. 19 years later, I'm thankful for those words. Because of that education, I've managed to be able to educate myself, to educate my community, to be able to interpret the laws in Uganda, to look for the loopholes that I can be able to take the government to court, to take newspapers to court, and also empower my own community. When I was starting this movement, I was really young, just a student. We were only a handful of people who could just stand out and speak. You would count us on one hand. Today, I can tell you that if you say that we want to see LGBT people in Uganda, 50 or more plus people are willing to put a face to our struggle. So over the years, we've had successes, but we've also had very many difficulties. And because of the opposition, religious leaders, the politicians, people felt that they needed to do something about our openness, about our visibility. And so the government, the parliament, proposed a kill the gays bill. They proposed that we need to kill them. We need to stop Kasha from moving around the world, or from even just going for workshops in the country to tell people that she's gay, and there are so many out there. We need to put a stop to this. What do we do about it? One, let's kill them. Two, let everyone who does not report a perceived homosexual report them or go to jail. Three, let anyone who has any material on homosexuality be jailed. So they caused a lot of fear, a lot of intimidation in the whole society. This law was passed in 2014, and the president signed it. The first bill, or the first law in the history of Uganda that was signed in front of the whole country, in front of media, in front of international media, because the president wanted to send a message to the international world that in Uganda, they can do whatever they want. Fortunately, we managed to challenge that law in the courts of law. Together with my colleagues, we took the government to the Supreme Court, to the Constitutional Court, and challenged the law and said, Uganda, as much as ratifies the death penalty, there is no way you can start killing people for simply who they are or for who we are. Well, the damage had already been done, even if we won the court case. The damage had already been done. People were really, really scared, and up to date, as I speak, we have over 430 LGBT Ugandans stuck in Kenya and Kakuma camps. Today, actually, in the audience, I have a colleague who managed to escape from Uganda to come to Geneva. Switzerland. Lynn, where are you, my colleague? Lynn behind there. Unfortunately, Lynn cannot go back home. Lynn does not have the support system that I have. Many people ask, why is it that most of the people you started the movement with are not in Uganda? What keeps you there? People like you keep me there. Strong networks like you keep me there. But not all the people I lead, all the people I represent have these strong networks. And we can't all go. We need to put a face to our struggle. Our struggle needs a face because we do not want the president to go out and say there are no homosexuals in Uganda. We want when the ministers say, let's talk to them, we are there. We want people to know that they are not alone in the villages when they are being told that they are possessed by demons. I was told I was possessed by demons when I was growing up. But when other people who are like me see me on TV in Uganda, hear me on radio, read about me in the newspapers, they get to know that they are not alone. They get to know that, oh, whatever they're telling me is not true. Kasha is educated. Kasha is not looking for Western money to be homosexual, because they also say that we are gay because we are being paid by the West. We are there, but not everyone can stay there. When I began this movement, I was quite a young person. I built relationships with so many people who are no longer in the country. Sometimes it feels lonely to see that all the people I began the movement with are not there. But it also gives me courage to say that I've motivated so many other activists in the country to stand up and say we cannot let people like Kasha fight alone. And the death of my colleague David Kato also woke the community up, because at first we were taking our security for granted. But the death of my friend woke us up and said we need to take this serious. It could be me, it could have been me. And that has also made us not hide away or shy away. We stand up for what we believe in, and we are not going to give up. But also, people who have resources, for example, here we are at the UN, we have member states that vote, member states that can propose resolutions, and we know you can do more. Today I want to say, please hold our governments accountable. Join us when we call for support. Join our social media so that you're engaged and fully aware of how you can help us, because some people have really tried to help us, but instead they've done harm. So for you to best know how to help us is for you to really be informed about how you can help activists on the ground, activists in Iran, activists in Uganda, activists in Zimbabwe. Get informed and engage with activists on the ground in any country. That way you can best be able to help us. Because some of you here are enjoying the freedom, some of us might even die without enjoying. But I want to tell you that you cannot be free if all other people are not free. So I'm really grateful to be here, and I'm looking forward to having more engagements outside and even tomorrow with some people who will still be here. I really want to thank you again, Geneva Summit and UN Watch, for always giving me this platform. I really appreciate it, and I won't get tired to come back here because every time there are new faces I meet in these platforms. Thank you so much.